fair point. Okay, I'll try again. I'll learn something. Maybe I won't propose it that way again. And it's just interesting to see how many people have stopped taking accountability over their actions, over their mindset, over what they do. And it's just like, I am entitled to be here and live well because what? Like, I'm an American, I'm a human, like happened to be born in the wealthiest country in the world, and so I should also be wealthy. Like, you have to do something. You have to actually do something in life if you want to see the rewards, if you want to get the benefits of that. And so many people are afraid. They're afraid to do something, which goes back to your conversation about being brave. They want to sit there and like, they've never, and I can't blame people either, because if I look at how the parents I know that aren't entrepreneurs, that aren't creatives, are raising their kids, people in the employee space are letting other people raise their kids and then expecting that they're going to come out of daycare or TV all day with any sort of value. Values, not intrinsic value as a person. But it's scary to think about. It's really scary to think about.
Yeah, and I think part of it is like the recognition, for one, that you have this recognition, because awareness is key. And a lot of people don't have awareness. And I think part of it is like the most important thing people need to really step back from is understand is like, what am I chasing? And why am I chasing it, right? And I think that there are all these things that we, especially here, where people have been like, they've been told what success looks like. And if they look at their lives and it doesn't measure up to what this thing has told you success is, then they're chasing that. And then everything else is basically going to fall, because you're chasing this thing that's unrealistic, that isn't a thing. And actually it's an idea, but it isn't actually a thing that's going to actually give you anything intrinsically that's going to make you feel good about when you get to that place, right? Where the reality is that you should be thinking about what it is that you want for yourself as a person, and then what does success look like for you, right? And then whatever that looks like, it's fine. Like my oldest daughter just graduated from college last May. And so we had this conversation last year when she was, I think it was like late last year, because she's calling me trying to figure out what she wanted to do, because she was going towards her master's program, but I think she really wasn't sure that that's what she wanted to do. And so she's asking all these questions, and I just like stopped her and I'm like, Deja, you already know what you want to do, just do it. And then you'll figure out, based on how it went, whether or not that's the right way to go. I can't tell you, your mom can't tell you what success looks like for you, because ultimately, if you're done with school and you're okay with where you're going, it's totally up to you. You have to make that decision. And then later you'll figure out, like, if you wanted to do X, Y, or Z, if you want to do continuing education. But then at that point, you've lived a little bit of a life to understand what you want. And I think there's all these pressures that people are so much concerned about measuring up to, and like what that looks like. And I believe that's one of the biggest mistakes we make. And part of it, I realize, at least here, from a cost of education standpoint, that's part of the reason, right? It's so expensive that now you've got this house thing. So what happens? Well, now you're in this system, you're tied to this debt. You have to work something that's at the very least going to allow you to pay for this, which is probably something you're going to hate doing. And then you're going to be stuck, right? Because what happens? You start paying this down, then you probably meet someone. You guys are probably going to get married, and guess what they have? They have this thing. They have these things that they're weighted down that they also don't like very much. You two are working this job you don't like very much. You're unhappy, but now you're on this track. So what do you have to do? Oh, you need to buy a house. Well, do you really? No, you need to buy a house. You're going to get married. You have to buy this thing, right? So now you're saddled by another thing to just bring the weight down to this thing. And there's all this unhappiness already here, right? It's already there. Then what do you need to do next? Well, everyone's telling you you have to have kids, right? And then you bring kids into this same thing. And there's no wonder why depression is so huge in America. It's no wonder why this is happening, right? Because you're already at the foundation. There's unhappiness at the foundation, at the root of every single person that's coming out of college in a lot of places, and who's basically not living the life they want to live, but they're saddled by this life that they've been told they need to live.